This is the Louie T Network.
Man, I love some football. Man, I love some football. My favorite week is week 1, cause I'm watching football. First comes the preseason, now I don't take a day off. And then it gets even better when your team makes the playoffs. 32 teams go hard for one thing. They work for one thing, that Super Bowl ring. 32 teams go hard for one thing. They work for one thing, that Super Bowl ring. Yeah. We in the lab room.
Louie T. Welcome. You are in the lab room. Of course, I am your host, Lou. Thank you for joining me. Divisional round weekend in the National Football League. Sunday. That's right. Sunday playoff action in divisional round weekend. And my gosh, this is the game that many of us were waiting on. Now, I will admit, Saturday's opening game of divisional round weekend going to be hard to top. That Ravens-Patriots game was special. But this was the game that a lot of people had circled on the calendar, myself included. And this was a big game for a number of reasons. You start at the top. You're talking number 2 seed Green Bay Packers at Lambeau taking on the number 3 seed Dallas Cowboys, America's team. And this is a big one because neither one of these teams has suffered a defeat in the element of this game. You're talking Cowboys 8-0, a flawless, sparkling 8-0 on the road this season. No other team in the National Football League can lay claim to that feat other than these Cowboys. You've got the 8-0 Green Bay Packers at home at Lambeau. However, losers of 5 straight playoff games at Lambeau Field, which is hard enough to believe in itself, but still have not lost a single game at home all season long and have played outstanding football. As a matter of fact, they showed some just jaw-dropping stats. They haven't trailed since week 2 at home. Aaron Rodgers, 25 touchdowns, no interceptions this year at home. Just ridiculous numbers for this Packers team in the comfy confines of Lambeau Field. So somebody's O had to go in this game. You're talking about 2 quarterbacks that will be in the MVP discussion. I think when it's all said and done, we know who's going to win that trophy. And I think he cemented it with his performance in this game. But we'll talk about that a little bit later on. This was a game that many people thought, hey, look, the winner of this game could easily go to Seattle and win in that environment. And the Cowboys have already proven that. So, and again, I talked about the Cowboys being a lot of people's dark horse to show up in Seattle, get that W, and go to the Super Bowl. And so this was a big one. I mean, this was a huge hurdle for them to have to overcome in Lambeau. Tough place to play and win. My whole thing about this game was I needed to know that Aaron Rodgers was healthy, and I didn't know that. And, you know, you can listen to Mike McCarthy talk about practice and how he looked good in limited drills and the limited work that they put him through. He looked good. The mobility was fine. That sounds good in theory, but again, Aaron Rodgers himself told me, he said, look, man, I'm going to tell you straight up, I don't know what I'm going to look like out there. I can't move around. I got an injury that is supposed to take up to a month to heal. I've only had 2 weeks. So I don't know what you're getting out of me. I'm going to go out there and gut it out. But I'm going to tell you right now, don't look for anything more than what you got in the second half of that Detroit game. I say, hey, fair enough. You won in the second half of that Detroit game. You went out and did more than enough to help your team win. If you can give me that, I'll take it. It's better than 100% of Matt Flynn, I'll tell you that much. But that didn't comfort me any because, again, this is a good Cowboys football team. So this was a tricky one to pick because I said, if you give me a healthy Aaron Rodgers, it's Green Bay all day. But you take away half of what makes this man special. And I started to question. I started to doubt. And I'll tell you when that thought and that doubt started to seep into my brain throughout the course of this game. But let's jump into this thing. 3rd-seed Cowboys taking on the 2-seed Green Bay Packers from Lambeau Field. Opening possession for the Cowboys ends as J-Pep almost forces a turnover, hits Tony Romo as he's throwing the football. Ball comes out. Cowboys are able to recover, maintain possession, and punt the football. And that leads to the Packers getting their hands on the football for the first time. And Eddie Lacy getting the football 7 times. 7 carries for Eddie Lacy on the opening possession, 46 yards. So he was having his way on the ground early in this game against the Cowboys. And Aaron Rodgers, 3 passing attempts. 2 of them were completed, including a half-hearted run that sucked the defense in, and then a flip into the end zone quickly to Andrew Quarles for a touchdown on a 3rd down, which showed a little bit of what we were to expect from him in this game. Look, that run, that half-hearted run looked like a guy that was on one leg. He did not want to take a shot. He didn't want to risk trying to get to the end zone and having to sell out and get in the end zone and take a shot to the calf. He did the smart thing, got rid of the football, and found Andrew Quarles with a little quick dart into the back of the end zone. Touchdown. Packers on the board 7-0 to start the scoring off in this game. It was a beautiful decision, beautiful throw, but again, it highlighted the fact that this guy isn't healthy because the Aaron Rodgers that we know would have taken off, gotten into the end zone, dived in, got up, and flashed the hardware. Give me that championship belt, baby. Flash it. But this guy wanted no part of that, and you knew why. And so it doesn't matter. Job was done. 7-0. Green Bay Packers up on top early in this game. Cowboys answer that score, and the Packers had an opportunity to really seize control of this game. They had the Cowboys on the ropes on this second possession, and they committed too many penalties, did the Packers. 2 big ones on this possession. You had the Brad Jones holding penalty on a screen on 3rd and long, which prolonged this possession for the Cowboys, gave them new life. And then you had a Tramon Williams pass interference penalty in the end zone, which led to the ball being put on the 1-yard line. We'll talk about the result from that penalty a little bit later on. But the Cowboys go 12 plays, 62 yards, again, aided by those 2 big Packer penalties. Get in the end zone on a 1-yard Tyler Klutz catch from the fullback. And again, just his 3rd or 4th touch of the season, first touchdown for Tyler Klutz. Don't use him very often, but this was the perfect time to call his number. They get in the end zone after the pass interference, put the ball at the 1-yard line. It's a 7-all game, and great response by the Cowboys. Again, if they could have gotten off the field, and I'm talking about the Green Bay defense, you're talking about a totally different game. We don't know. Maybe the Packers go down, score some more points, and really put the Cowboys in a compromising situation, much like they did a week ago against Detroit. Put themselves in a 14-0 hole, and maybe they don't climb out of the hole this time. I mean, it's the Packers. It's a different offense. Aaron Rodgers, they're on the road. Things could have changed, but that Brad Jones holding penalty gave the Cowboys life, and they took it and ran with it, get in the end zone. It's now 7-all in this game. That's the end of the first quarter. Game knotted up at 7. Cowboys stop the Packers drive. Packers get the football, and this is why I felt confident that if they were able to get a stop, they might have been able to go down and score. They were moving the ball with the Packers on the second drive where they got the football after the Cowboys had knotted it up at 7. And they were looking for more points. And then Jeremy Mincey makes a huge play, hits Aaron Rodgers. They had already sacked him on the previous play. They sack him again. This time the ball comes out of Aaron Rodgers' hands. And this was more of the center not being on the same page with Aaron Rodgers. He's kind of making some calls at the line, making sure everybody's on the same page. Ball hits him right in the chest, wasn't ready for it, picks it up, tries to make something happen with it, and Jeremy Mincey is able to get in there and hit him, jar the ball loose, and recover the fumble that he forced. So big play by Jeremy Mincey stops the Packers dead in their tracks as they were trying to get some points on the scoreboard. And the Cowboys not only kind of seized the momentum with that play, but they capitalized on it with a huge 38-yard T-Will touchdown on a catch and run. Just a simple stop route in front of Tramon Williams. Doesn't make the tackle, and off to the races Terrence Williams goes. T-Will gets in the end zone. And he had a big week last week against Detroit. Continues that with this play. Gives the Cowboys a 14-7 lead. So a huge momentum swing in the game with that forced fumble by Jeremy Mincey and the recovery, and then the subsequent drive by the Cowboys after the fumble. So Cowboys taking advantage of mistakes by the Packers. The penalty prolonged the possession to help them score their first touchdown. You got the Tramon Williams pass interference in the end zone to help them get to the one, to help them get in the end zone. And now a huge play by Mincey and then one by T-Will to get in the end zone. So Cowboys taking advantage of Packer mistakes. That's what the Cowboys have done on the road, which is why they have not lost all season on the road. They're up 14-7 in this game at this point. False start penalty pushes a 45-yard Dan Bailey field goal attempt back to 50 yards, which he then misses. And he's been very erratic of late. And for a guy that I had nicknamed Dangerous Dan Bailey, because the dude was just a weapon, an absolute weapon for the Cowboys. 58, that's no problem for Dan, man. Go ahead and knock that through, Dan. Stop playing. 52, and Dan hits those in his sleep, man. What, 45, man? Dan will kick that backwards. That's how it was earlier in the season. Dan wasn't missing. But in the last 3 weeks or so, let's even take it back a month, Dan's been very sporadic, man. He may make it, he may not. You just don't know anymore. So that's a problem. It reared his ugly head right there, because he actually missed from 45 before the penalty. But you know how sometimes kicks get altered when they hear the whistle. They just go through the motion, but they don't actually kick it. So I didn't pay that any mind, but to miss it from 50, that's well within his range, and he did not make it. And so the Cowboys come away with nothing there. That miss was right before the half. Packers still had all 3 timeouts, and there was still 33 seconds left on the clock after the miss. So that was huge. You give up field position, and you give the Packers an opportunity to get points right before the half, and that they did. Huge 26-yard completion to Randall Cobb. Cowboys have a huge defensive breakdown. What's the one place you don't want to give up a pass? Late in the game, late, in the half, at any time where you need the clock stopped, you can't give up any sideline breaking routes. They give up an easy corner route to Randall Cobb. Beautiful throw by Aaron Rodgers to hit him and allow him to tiptoe and get out of bounds, stop the clock, and give them a chance to get in the field goal range. And Mason Crosby is true on the field goal attempt to make it 14-10 at the halftime break. So you're looking at a 6-point swing there. Dan Bailey not only misses the field goal, but assists the Green Bay Packers in putting 3 points of their own on the scoreboard to make it a 4-point lead for the Cowboys at the halftime break. Takeaways from the first half. Aaron Rodgers is not himself. He's on one leg. So to me, this is the Cowboys' game to lose at this point, because there were so many opportunities for Aaron Rodgers to get out of the pocket and make some things happen with his legs, or create the illusion that he was going to create with his legs, suck the defense up, and then make some things happen. But I think lost in all of the injury to the calf and the limited mobility talk was the fact that he was inaccurate for most of the first half. There were a lot of passes that I'm used to seeing Aaron Rodgers hit. There was a corner route early in the game to Randall Cobb where he's got a step on the defender, maybe even 2, and the Cowboys came with a blitz, and the Packers welcome the blitz because Aaron Rodgers usually picks it apart. Well, they came on the blitz. He had one-on-one coverage. The defender on the play, which the Cowboys had already assigned Orlando Scandrick the duty of trying to keep up with Randall Cobb all game, whether he was in the backfield, in the slot, out wide. That was Orlando Scandrick's guy the entire game. He had a step or 2 on Orlando Scandrick, and Rodgers just flat out missed on the route. Well, Again, you could argue that Cobb kind of turned around when maybe he could have taken another step or two and tried to go after the football, but it just wasn't an accurate throw. There was a pass to Jordy Nelson on a seam route up the middle of the field, and that's a pass that, if Aaron Rodgers sees the defender's name, if he sees his number, he's open. The target is open. He throws it to Jordy Nelson. It's behind Jordy Nelson. Troy Aikman actually said that it was a good throw. No, it wasn't. Jordy Nelson had to reach way behind him to try to catch it, and he ended up knocking it in the air. These are throws that Aaron Rodgers routinely makes and makes them look easy. A lot of things looked difficult for him in this game, especially in the first half. I started to wonder at the halftime break, could these guys get it done? Is Aaron Rodgers good enough to help them win this game? I did not know, but I still wasn't quite sold on the fact that the Packers weren't good enough to win this game. We go to the third quarter. DeMarco Murray fumbles, and it's forced by J. Pep, and this was a huge play in the game. Now, I thought it was fitting that in the Cowboys' final game of the season, DeMarco Murray fumbled the football because that was something that he had done routinely this season. 5 fumbles on the year. This made it 6. And the first 4 games of the season, he had a fumble in every single one of those contests. Then he went on a nice little hiatus, didn't fumble again until week 8, lost that one as well against the Redskins. And that was the last time he fumbled the football. So he had went on a nice break and vacation from fumbling, but it was about that time. And J. Pep made a huge play because they said this on the telecast. Sometimes the announcers just say stuff for effect. Oh, man, he had a lot of green grass in front of him. He would have scored on this play if, whatever. No, he would have scored. Literally, he would have scored. Had he not fumbled on that play, the Red Sea had already parted, and Ronald Leary, his guard, went and kicked out and was ahead of the play and was going to mop up Tramon Williams. He was gone. That was about to be about a 47-yard touchdown scamper, and the Cowboys were going to be in control of this game at 21-10. Trust and believe. He was out the back door. That was set. So that was a huge play by J. Pep, and he had a big game. Talked about the sack force fumble. He was impactful in this game, was J. Pep. And no play was bigger for his team than that forced fumble of DeMarco Murray, as they recover the fumble at the Dallas 44. So they're in a good position, probably their best starting field position of the game. 27-yard Eddie Lacy run 2 plays later sets them up in great territory to get some points on the scoreboard. Then on a 3rd and 1 play at the end of the play, and pick up some yards. At the end of the play, TJ Lane comes in and mollywops one of the Cowboys. At the end, I believe it was Nick Hayden who got dropped by TJ Lane. Just unnecessary. You get it from the standpoint of the lineman. You see all these Cowboys piling on your player, and they're pushing them backwards. The whistle is being blown, the play's dead, and they're still hitting them and pushing them backwards. So you peel off a guy. Hey, okay, you don't want to stop? I won't stop then. And so a little fracas breaks out, and they want to get the culprit. They want to get the guy that started the melee, and it was, in fact, TJ Lang. And so they hit him with a personal foul, unnecessary roughness penalty, pushes him back 15 yards. Now, all of a sudden, 3rd and 1 turns into 3rd and 16. Packers elect to dump it down, take the field goal. Instead of an opportunity to potentially take the lead, now you got to settle for a field goal. So that was a huge play after forcing the turnover and then getting a big play by Lacy. You don't get to cash in fully, have to settle for a field goal. 14-13, Cowboys still on top. Cowboys make quick work of the Packers D on the ground as DeMarco Murray and Joseph Randle start to heat up. They absolutely lit the Packers up on this particular possession, and DeMarco Murray, sides from the fumble, had himself a heck of a day. And he was well over 100 yards on this Packers defense. They really struggled stopping the run, did the Packers defense, and it was never more apparent than on this possession where the Cowboys just marched down the field, led to a 2-yard DeMarco Murray touchdown run. Cowboys take a 8-point lead at this point at 21-13. This is when I started to have my doubts. I said to myself, are they going to be able to do this? I don't like the way Aaron Rodgers looks. He continues to miss guys that he normally hits in stride. He's missing a lot of open receivers. They're not sustaining offense. The Cowboys are having their way on the ground. They're having a lot of success. I'm saying to myself, and this actually crossed my mind. I'm not going to talk about it today. We'll talk about it later on in the week. But I said to myself, I picked Green Bay to win. So, of course, naturally, I want to be right. I want the Packers to win. But in the spirit of getting the best game possible against the Seahawks, do I want to see a hobbled Aaron Rodgers? Do I want to see a 65%, 70% Aaron Rodgers up against that swarming Seattle Seahawks defense? Do I really want that? I mean, he's struggling with a Cowboys team that can't get any pass rush. He had all day in this game. I thought the offensive lines for both teams were the heroes of this game, because if you look at what the Cowboys were able to do in this game, running the football and controlling the clock like they normally do, they did what they were supposed to do. They did what all pro and Pro Bowl players are supposed to do. They created a new line of scrimmage for DeMarco Murray in a rushing attack. And on the other side of the ball, I thought the Packers' offensive line was tremendous. They had to be, because Aaron Rodgers couldn't run. I mean, we saw it all game, and for them to give him time to survey the field 2 and 3 different times. I mean, there were times where Aaron Rodgers would be in a pocket, look around, feel like I need to get out of here. I can't, and still have time to survey the field, back out of the pocket, reset, look down the field, and still try to find somebody. The offensive line did a masterful job of keeping him relatively clean in this game. And so I started to think to myself, they can't do that against Seattle, though. I mean, do I really want to see this? Do I really want Aaron Rodgers to be put in a situation like that? And where I could have the Cowboys, a team that's already went to Seattle, go back to Seattle and give us potentially the game of the season. I don't know. I was kind of conflicted there, but I said, look, if the Packers can win, if Aaron Rodgers can find a way to get his team out of this game, get them onto the next round, get a week of rest, we'll see what happens. But that's jumping the gun. They're down by 8, 21-13. And then Randall Cobb nearly has the turnover of the century on the ensuing kickoff, fumbles the football, coughs it up. And if not for Andrew Corliss, remember he had a touchdown earlier in the game. If not for Andrew Corliss, this was the biggest play of the game for him. Damn the touchdown at the beginning of the game. He didn't recover this fumble. And I don't know how the Cowboys don't recover this fumble, because when the ball disappears, there's 2 Cowboys on top of the ball. So Andrew Corliss went in there and fought to go get that football. No play was bigger than that for the Packers, because if the Cowboys recover that football literally at the, let's call it the 13-yard line, let's call it the 17-yard line, they're going in for points. I mean, the way they were running the football, if they get a touchdown there, 28-13, game's over. Game is done. So, and even a field goal there to extend the lead out to 11, make it a 2-score game, would have been detrimental to the cause of the Packers at that point in the game. So, huge turn of events. And off of that recovery, they even had a flag that pushed them back for, I believe, illegal blocking it back. So, they started this drive at the 10-yard line. A-Rod orchestrates a 90-yard touchdown march, which includes a 3rd and 16, 46-yard strike to Davante Adams. What did I tell you about this young man before the season started? When they drafted him, I said this was a mistake that every team in the entire National Football League will regret, especially in the NFC. Why did you allow a guy like this to go to Green Bay? It's just another weapon in the arsenal of Aaron Rodgers to exploit teams all around the league. And you saw it on display in this game. He was huge in this game, and no play was bigger than this one. He had another huge play later on in the game. We'll talk about it. But this one, they had to have it at this point. 3rd and 16. Cowboys have the momentum. They're up 8. If the Packers don't pick up the first down here, they're going to have to punt, and the Cowboys, they show no signs of slowing down on the ground. If they get the football back up 8, a field goal could pretty much put this one in the danger zone. So this catch, and I'm going to tell you what, Aaron Rodgers from the 3rd quarter, midway through the 3rd quarter on, looked like the calf muscles started to warm up, and he started to get into a groove. And I'm going to tell you what, this throw right here was the beginning of the end for the Dallas Cowboys. This was a hell of a throw, okay? Pinpoint accurate, right on the button, in stride so that he could catch it. He had already gotten past the defender on the play. I want to say that it was either Patman or it was Sterling Moore, one or the other. It doesn't matter. Either way, he had beaten those guys, and that defender was not in that bad of a position. Actually swiped at the football, missed because it had so much juice and steam on it, and it was on the money. Adams able to catch it, get up the field, make the safety miss. I mean, just undressed him with a nice little shimmy on him, put him to sleep, got to the outside, turned on the Jets, got to the end zone. 21-20, Cowboys up by 1 after the 46-yard touchdown by Davante Adams. That is your score as we head to the fourth quarter. Throw those fours up. A-Rod with a masterful, and this right here is what MVPs are made of right here. This is a masterful opening drive of the fourth quarter. An 8-play, 80-yard gem turned up by one Aaron Rodgers as he shows why he will be the MVP of the 2014-2015 regular season. God damn, that throw to Richard Rodgers in the end zone on a 12-yard touchdown was an absolute strike. Oh my gosh. That was... I couldn't tell he was hurt on that one. That was some vintage Aaron Rodgers Green Bay Packer mustard, boy. That was a fastball right between two Cowboy defenders. You can't throw it any better than that. There was actually a hand in his face. The dude just is electric, man. And like I said, he started to heat up midway through the third quarter. That throw to Davante Adams was special. This was historic. That throw was historic. That was, I had the Jay-Z Gucci bucket, Kanye West spitting a flow in the studio, pulling over your face feeling. I couldn't believe it. That was a hell of a throw. I said, A-Rod, you are ridiculous, sir. And that put them up 26-21. The 2-point conversion was no good. Aaron Rodgers, 7 of 7 for 78 yards and that 12-yard beaut on the drive. That's MVP-like right there. I mean, team needs it. They're down in the game. That's how you put them on top right there. First time they've led in this game since 7-0 on the opening possession for the Packers. So that was huge to get the fourth quarter started. Cowboys on the move with the football, move it into Packers territory, and they run into a 4th and 3 situation. What to do. Well, this is simple. You're down 5. Field goal may help you because you have a full complement of timeout or 2 timeouts at your disposal. Still plenty of time, about 5 minutes left in the game. You could kick the field goal here. You could cut it to 2. But guess what? Dangerous Dan Bailey, he's already missed once in the game. And then Troy fills us in with a little bit of a tidbit that Joe Buck was leaving out. Hey, Troy said, hey, look, man, we watched this cat at halftime kicking into this same direction from about 50 yards. That dude fell short about 3-4 times. I wouldn't do that if I were you. So, bad news, that's bad move if they'd have tried to kick the field goal. But luckily enough for the Cowboys, Redhead Jesus knew what time it was. He said, man, we rolling the dice, man. We gonna kiss it and hope it comes up nice. We going for it. So he said, all right, if they come with any pressure, go ahead and throw it up to Dez, man. Don't even worry about it. I don't care. If it's pressure, throw it up to Dez. He got one-on-one. And so, Packers dialed it up. Most important play of the game to this point, 4th and 3. You get this stop. Cowboys could be in trouble. Could be in some trouble. So they throw it up to Dez. And my gosh, that man. Mama, there goes that man. Dez goes up, climbs the ladder. And you know what I call these? You know what I call these, man. BFG. Ball fragment grab. He just put his nutsack right on the helmet of one Tramon Williams. And Tramon was in excellent coverage. You can't play it much better than that. He located man. He located ball. He actually even tried to put his hand on the ball. But too bad Dez put his nutsack on his helmet and said, hey, man, you too small. Give me that. You don't know what to do with that, shorty. Let me get that. And he came down with the ball, and it looks like he's crossing the goal line, trying to get in the end zone. And then all of a sudden, that ball pops up, and Dez pops up, and I say to myself, did you catch that, Dez? Dez says, you damn sure I did. You damn right I did. I caught that. I took 3 steps. Dez kept saying it over and over. I took 3 steps. Desmond, oh, Desmond, you know the rules to the game, so play, man. You know what you're supposed to do. You got to put it away, young fella. That whole grabbing it with one hand. Didn't you learn last night from good old Earl Thomas about the little one-handers, man? Put it away. You know better than that. Well, he tried to be cute with it with one hand. Ball comes out of his grasp in the end zone. Does not complete the whole entire process of the catch. They overturned on replay what looked like a 35-yard catch on 4th and 3 down to the 1-yard line, giving the Cowboys an opportunity to potentially take the lead. Has now turned into disaster. It's a turnover on downs. Green Bay Packers ball. And with time starting to become an issue, this could be the beginning of the end for the Dallas Cowboys and their 2014-2015 season. They need to stop. You need to stop, Dallas. If anytime you need this defense to step up, now be the time. 3rd and 3. Here's an opportunity. Get some pressure on Aaron Rodgers. Maybe heat him up a little bit. You know he doesn't want to run. Cowboys come with a teeny bit of pressure. Aaron Rodgers locates one-on-one with Davante Adams. One-on-one with a guy that has been playing some solid football for the Cowboys all season long, Sterling Moore. And it was not a good throw by Rodgers. Okay, Davante Adams had to stop, actually had to reach in front of Sterling Moore and take the football from him, and then told Sterling Moore, hey man, back up off me, dude. You don't know me like that, man. Get back. You don't know me like that. And took off for 26 yards. A huge play. Stayed in bounds. Had the clock running. Ouch. Ouch. That's a big one. But you still got the 2-minute warning. And you got 2 timeouts. Cowboys burn one of those. Okay. So they burn one. Then the Packers say, all right, we're going to start running the football, see if we can't crack one more and get this thing over with. Cowboys weren't having it. So now you find yourself in a 3rd and 7 situation. And it's a situation where if the Cowboys can get a stop here, I don't know. It's a really tricky situation. I would have loved to have seen what the Packers would have done because you're right on that cusp of field goal range. We're talking like 51 yards. You know what I'm saying? Like, you smell me on that one? You missed that field goal. You talking about Dallas having a ball at damn near midfield, and you're talking about them having 2 minutes to go down and win the game. That's ample time. No timeouts, 2 timeouts. It doesn't matter. They don't need any timeouts with that kind of field position in 2 minutes. So you're talking about a really tricky situation. Do you try to extend the lead to 9 with a field goal, or 8? Which would be a 1-possession game, but they need the 2-point conversion? Or do you punt the football, try to pin them, and make them go the length of the field and see if you can't hold up defensively, which I don't know if you trust your defense to do that. So would have been nice to have seen what Mike McCarthy would have elected to do. If I had to guess, if I'm a betting man, he sends Mason Crosby out there and says, hey, Mason, go knock this home for us and get us to the NFC Championship game. But we'll never know because on 3rd and 7, Aaron Rodgers, with a little bit of pressure in his face, throws the football. It is deflected on the play by a Dallas Cowboy defender. And still, Randall Cobb with the presence of mind to locate ball, go down and get it. What a catch, because you know how hard it is to catch a deflected pass, period? I mean, I've seen guys drop the ball for much less. And this one was a good deflection. I'm talking about he got a good chunk of that football, and the fact that it still got to Randall Cobb means it had a lot of velocity on it, a lot of cheese on that one. And for Randall Cobb to still keep the concentration and catch a deflected pass says a lot about his ability to make tough catches, and none bigger than that one as it goes for 9 yards and a 1st down, and the Green Bay Packers survive a scare from the Dallas Cowboys, 26-21. What a hell of a game. Everybody will be talking about the Dez Bryant catch, non-catch. Look, you can sit here and complain about it if you want. Just like last week with the Detroit game, that was not the reason the Cowboys lost this game. It was a big play in the game, but there were plays to be made thereafter, and the Cowboys simply did not make the plays when they were necessary. And we all know the rules. This isn't like pass interference where it's a subjective call. This was simple. He did not control the ball all the way to the ground. Therefore, it is not a catch. Do I like the rule? No. That should have been a catch. The man went up, put his balls on the helmet of the defender, Sam Shields, in this case, and he went up and made a play. It should have been a catch. And I think I said Tramon Williams earlier. He put his balls on Sam Shields' helmet, okay, and pulled the football down. It's a damn catch. But he didn't control all the way to the ground. You know the rules. It's the Calvin Johnson rule all over again. And so the Packers hold on. We will talk about the Packers and their ability to potentially move on later on in the week. This was an epic battle between the Packers and the Cowboys. And the Cowboys showed everything that we expected them to in this game and why they were a formidable foe for the Packers, because they ran the football down the throats of the Packers. They controlled the line of scrimmage all day on the offensive side of the football. They simply made too many mistakes. The Dez Bryant no catch, the DeMarco Murray fumble. They made too many mistakes late in this game to have a chance to win, to allow a guy to catch the football on 3rd and 16 and score 46 yards later. Can't happen. Too many breakdowns for this Cowboys team to win this game. They don't get it done. Packers do. Eddie Lacy, over 100 yards rushing in this game. You had Devontae Adams, 7 catches, over 100 yards in this game and a score. Randall Cobb, 7 catches, over 100 yards in this game. They were huge in the outcome. They got it done. They out-executed the Cowboys. They win 26-21. That's going to do it for Packers. Cowboys, what a great game this was. It lived up to the billing of the Ice Bowl 2, as they named it on Fox. It wasn't even that cold, but you know how they like to do those type of things. But if it happens in the National Football League, whether big or small, we cover it all here in the lab room. Come back and join me, because we've got one more game to break down, and that turned out to be the surprise of the entire weekend. We'll come back. We'll break it down. I'll see you in a bit. Have a good one.